Hello, my dear health seekers. Inga from Health Origins here. So it's been a few days since my last video, but we are back with how to transition to sorry, how to transition to healthier eating, part 13. So today I want to talk about the importance of eating organic. Um, so you might have seen in supermarkets, that sometimes they have organic versions of the same kind of fruits and veg and the same foods. And they normally are a bit more expensive. And you might think, well, what is it organic and why is it different? And is it worth paying more to eat organic? Well, in my opinion, I think it is important. Um, so we try and buy as much organic produce as we can find in supermarkets. So in UK, we shop at Sainsbury's mostly, and they do have organic versions of a lot of fruits and veg, which is amazing. So we try obviously buy organic whatever we can, and also we get a local our local growers here in the northeast near Newcastle, a veg bag, so we get some organic local veg as well. But why is it important to eat organic? So organic produce cannot be grown with use of herbicides and pesticides. Okay, so if you eating organic, you're ensuring that your vegetables and fruits that you're eating have not been sprayed with herbicides or pesticides. Okay, so the conventionally grown produce is normally sprayed with these two toxins, or at least one of them is to ward off pests and ward off kind of weeds, if you like, to help to get a bigger kind of crop or easier to care for and things like that. So because obviously the produce has to look good, to be presented to supermarkets, so it can't have any little holes, with like the bugs eating it and things like that. So it's just a quicker way of ensuring the produce is pest free, easier to care for to do with like the weeds not growing in between and things like that. So you might think, well, what's the matter with that? Well, in the word pesticide, herbicide is it pesticide, it's kind of like indicates a poison. Okay, so this poison is targeted obviously to the little bugs. In the case of pesticides, right? So targeting normally little bugs and things that would eat the produce, right? But you have to think that our bodies are mainly made of bugs. We are more bacteria than we are human, right? Did you know that? We have more, bits of different kind of bacteria living in us than we have cells of our body. So we are more bugs than actually humans, which is like really incredible. So, and you know how important our biome, our gut flora is, because our gut is really our immune system, right? So if our gut is compromised, then our immunity is down and we get all sorts of illnesses, and we are less resilient. So think about it. If your fruit and veg are sprayed with pesticides, that is toxins, and if it kills bugs and worms and whatever else, then it's not that beneficial for our good bacteria, right? Little tiny bugs too. So when you ingest non-organic produce, you are ingesting some of that pesticides and herbicides in them, and some fruits and veg could be potentially washed with either bicarb soda kind of like a water bath, or apple cider vinegar kind of wash. Don't use them both because bicarb soda is alkaline, whereas your vinegar is acid. So when you put the two together, it neutralizes each other, so it doesn't actually work. So either you could wash it with the bicarb soda water mix, or apple cider vinegar and water mix. So some fruits and veggies could be washed off, but the sad fact is a lot of it actually has the pesticides and herbicides inside of the fruit, so you'll not be able to get rid of all of it or some of it. So yeah, I mean, so if you don't have the budget, so ideally, right, if you can afford it, definitely go for organic fruits and veggies if when you can. And it's not like that massive of a difference, not like double the price or anything like that. It might be an extra 50p, it might be an extra pound, per punnet of something, for example. So it's well worth it, because realistically we don't need as much food as we think we need. So when we kind of reduce the portions to reasonable small sizes, like the size of our fists, like for example, like what I said our stomach is, right? Then when you think about it, then it means we really could get away with buying less, and spending the same amount of money, and just not overeating, and just having more quality produce with smaller portions, which is perfect for what we need, really. So yeah, I think it's good practice to eat the best quality of food as you can, and obviously organic ensures that it is that. Also, maybe not so much in UK or Europe. For example, in America, eating organic produce is the only way that they can ensure that they don't eat anything GMO, right? Genetically modified organisms, it's called. So in America, they genetically modify a lot of things, right? So soybean, corn, what else? Um, Soybean and corn, the ones just spring to mind, but quite a few. Oh, I think, is it beetroot as well? Something else. Anyway, so they genetically modify quite a few common items, right, in America, and in some, like in a lot of states, they don't have a rule that they have to put whether it's genetically modified or not on a label. In Europe, I know in particular that if it's genetically modified, it needs to say it on the label. In UK, since we left Europe with Brexit, I don't know what the rules are with that. But I don't think it's as much of a problem as it is in America. So yeah, in America, pretty much the only way to ensure that you're eating non-genetically modified food that is also pesticide and herbicide free is eating organic. So that's why it's even more important in America to do that. Here in UK or in Europe, if you can't quite afford organic food, you can have a little look through and do a little research and get a dirty dozen up. So meaning some fruits and veggies get more of the pesticides and herbicides in them when they're growing, right? So when you find the dirty dozen, so your dirty veggies would be your celery. There would be, I think, potatoes. I know strawberries are. Is it asparagus? I haven't actually had a look at the dirty dozen for a while. I definitely know that celery is one of them. So yeah, so have a look at the dirty dozen and figure out which ones are not on there. So it means you can potentially eat it non-organic and not be too bad. But the ones that are dirty dozen, I would definitely recommend getting organic. Or in the case of potatoes, for example, if you're getting non-organic potatoes, I would recommend always peeling them. Whereas with the organic potatoes, I always recommend just eat it with the skin if you can, because obviously there's a lot of nutrients just, where the skin is, under the skin, or just the skin itself as well has, nutrients around it. So it's really good if you can keep the skin on for organic fruit and veggies, because that there's got a lot of nutrition in there. But in the case of non-organic fruit and veg, wherever you can either peel them, or again, look at which ones are not in your dirty dozen, and it's okay to get the conventionally grown ones, the ones that are not in that dirty list. And in the ones in the dirty list, try and buy organic if you can. However, I've watched some Dr. Gregor's videos. He really compares and looks into science properly. I definitely recommend. So nutritionfacts.org is his website, Dr. Gregor. So basically he done some, he looked at some studies where they compared people eating conventionally grown veggies, like the benefits of that, as opposed to not eating fruits and veggies, right? And it still comes out on top that the benefits are so much more eating any kind of fruits and veg than not having them. So yeah, so if you're torn between kind of eating organic, not being able to afford, or just being able to afford regular conventionally grown produce, and you think, should I have it or not at all then, because I can't get organic, definitely go for fruit and veggies, because it's still a bigger benefit to you than the potential of pesticides and herbicides. So yeah, so that is my little tidbit about the fruits and veggies. However, another reason to eat even breads and pastas organic is due to hidden glyphosate, right? So this is such a massive topic in itself. I was actually gonna talk about it. In fact, I think I will. So next part, we're gonna talk why it's important to eat organic bread and pasta, and what's hiding in it, right? A lot of people are not aware what's hiding in our conventionally grown, well, not conventionally grown, but made bread that is not organic, and say pastas and things like that. So our wheat products mainly, okay? So we're gonna discuss, and that's gonna be part 14. So yeah, so we'll keep this short and sweet. Eat your veggies, and see you next time.